Hi guys, I'm Vijay and welcome to the Season 7 Graves Jungle Guide. So I want to quickly start off this guide just by saying, personally I would highly recommend this champion. He can solo carry games incredibly easily if you do get ahead, and he can also even win like 45s as well. So again, highly recommend this champion and I would really suggest that you do pick him up. Moving on to the leveling order of the abilities and a brief explanation of what the abilities do. So as you can see on screen, you're going to be wanting to max Q first, then E, W and then R. The reason you actually start Q first is you'll find out more later on anyway, but at the moment you start Raptors, although generally you can actually just start E as well if you're going to start a buff, but as of this guide, starting Raptors is really strong on Graves because you can do it very easily and it also gives you more XP, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. As for the reasons that you're maxing Q and then E, it's pretty much because Q is your main damage source. It does a ton of damage if you can catch people off guard with it, hitting both angles of the actual ability, and then E is obviously your auto attack reset and you're also getting a little bit more tankiness from actually stacking up the armor on the E stacks. As for the masteries that you're going to be running on Graves, this does come down to preference, but I would highly recommend running Storm Raider Surge. You can actually run Thunderlord's Decree if you do want. It gives you that little bit of extra damage early on, but you'll notice if you do run Thunderlords and then also start running Storm Raiders instead, you'll notice the difference as well. I did prefer Thunderlords and then I started running Storm Raiders, and you can just see a lot of the time it is far better. It can save you a lot. It can also mean you're chasing someone while reloading and you can get the close range autos, and overall it comes out as more damage in more utility sense. As for the rune page on Graves, you're pretty much going to be wanting to run the one that I'm showing you on screen now, so that is the AD Reds, MR per level Blues, the HP per level Seals, and then attack speed Quints. So the reason you're doing this is because recently Graves received a nerf where his E no longer actually stacks the MR on his E. So obviously having MR per level gives you that little bit of extra MR, and it is quite nice for fighting any AP mages or if there's an AP jungler. As for the AD, it's just standard AD, the attack speed is really nice, and then the HP per level, you don't really need armor, although if you can't afford the HP per level you can run armor anyway, that is perfectly fine, but generally as Graves you don't actually really take any damage from the jungle anyway, so it's nice just to have the extra HP. The starting item that you're going to want to go for on Graves is pretty much a choice really. So if you're going to be starting the Raptors, you can actually start the Machete because you'll obviously end up getting blue anyway, but sometimes you can actually run the Hunter's Talisman since Graves auto attacks actually do proc the extra healing and the damage over time burn from the Talisman, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's kind of preference, but obviously you can see the benefits of having the Machete since your auto attacks do heal you quite a lot from the just regular damage, but then the Talisman as well does have its benefits in that you actually keep up your mana pool pretty high throughout the jungle clay. As for the Graves build that you are going to be using, you are actually seeing it on screen now. So this is a pretty much general consensus for the Graves build. You'll see if you've played against Graves or played with Graves, you've probably seen him run this build. So the reason for that is because it is incredibly strong, and you will see that once you start using it. Graves can actually apply the Black Cleaver stacks multiple times in just one auto attack. I believe that he can apply up to 5 in one auto attack. Even 6 as well, he can apply the entire thing if he does crit, and that's obviously when you'll have the Phantom Dancer. But other than that as well, the general build itself just makes you incredibly obnoxious to play against. You can kill tanks, you can one-shot squishies, you're really difficult to kill if you do end up getting like Bloodthirster and stuff like that. You're just incredibly durable. There is honestly not really much you can do against a really fed Graves. The jungle clear on Graves actually might seem a little bit weird for some people, so what you're going to be wanting to do is actually start Raptors. So currently that is because the Raptors is an incredibly good start for 2 reasons. Firstly, doing 5 camps will actually give you level 4, so you'll be doing Raptors, Red, Wolves, Blue, Gromp, and then you'll be level 4. The second reason as well is because of the really high camp respawn times. The fact that you're doing Raptors first means that you've already gotten the XP from those, and now then your Raptors are going to spawn earlier, and then you can get more XP from the Raptors again. So it kind of mounts up and you quickly gain levels on the enemy jungler. So all in all, as of now you want to be starting the Raptors and practice doing that start. If that actual start gets nerfed anytime soon, then your just pretty much general clear is going to be starting on a buff as normal. So in that instance you want to be actually starting E. You can start Q if you want, but starting E is really nice since you can obviously kite the camp, you have an auto attack reset, and then you don't really take any damage whatsoever. And that does about wrap it up for the Graves Jungle Guide. So I hope you did like this video, and yet again I will say I will highly recommend this champion just because of his insane carry potential. He is incredibly strong at the moment. That also does mean though as well, keep in mind that he is banned or picked quite a lot as well if he is left open, but if you can get him, he is incredibly strong. Another thing as well that I do want to mention is, it's my personal belief anyway, that you don't really need to be an amazing Graves to actually win a lot of games, like a good percentage of your games. Like myself for example, I wouldn't consider myself a really good Graves anyway, but I have like a near 70% win rate. It was around 90% in like 15 games or so, and I didn't really think I was like a very good Graves. Now me personally, I'm not really anywhere close to the really good Graves players level, so people like Tarzaned or Acadian or any of the Korean Graves players like SofM or anyone like that, but it is pretty easy to actually win on this champion. It's either because he's incredibly broken or whatever you want to say like that, or the champion just in general is quite overtuned. He is very strong, he does a lot of stuff in terms of ganks, he can clear really easily, he can gank very well, he has a really obnoxious smoke screen and all this stuff. But anyway guys, that will pretty much wrap this video up. So again, we'll highly recommend Graves. He's pretty simple to play, you don't have to be amazing to actually win a lot of games on him. Either way though, I hope this video did help. If it did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.